Have you ever noticed that the more you explain yourself, the less people seem to believe you? You clarify, you justify, you lay out every detail with precision, yet somehow the truth slips through their fingers like sand. Frustrating, isn't it? This is the trap so many fall into, thinking that words will save them when, in reality, they only tighten the noose. Take Daniel, for example, a man of integrity, discipline, and quiet dedication. He never sought attention, only results. But one day, an envious co-worker spread a lie, twisting his success into suspicion. Whispers turned into rumors, and suddenly, Daniel found himself on trial in the court of public opinion. What did he do? What most would, he explained. He defended himself, pleaded his case, and tried to set the record straight. But the more he spoke, the deeper the doubt grew. His words did not rescue him, they buried him. So what should he have done instead? The answer is simple yet powerful: silence. The Stoics understood this well. True strength is not found in arguments but in action. In this video, we'll explore the power of silence, why explanations are often a waste, and how embracing a private, quiet resolve can shield you from the noise of judgment. Have you ever faced a moment where defending yourself only made things worse? Share your thoughts in the comments. We're building a community of thinkers, and your voice matters. Now, let's dive in. 1. When words become chains, the power of not explaining yourself. Why do we feel the need to explain ourselves? Is it truly because we want to be understood, or is it something deeper, something rooted in fear? The fear of being misunderstood, the fear of seeming weak, the fear of losing control over how others perceive us. And yet, the more we explain, the more we drown in our own words. The illusion of justification. We believe that logic and reason will make others see the truth, that if we just present our case clearly enough, they will understand. But this is an illusion. Most people do not listen to understand. They listen to respond, to judge, to confirm what they already believe. Imagine this. A man walks into a courtroom. There is no judge, no jury, only a crowd. Their verdict has already been decided. No matter what he says, no matter how clear his defense, their minds are set. And yet, he pleads, he explains, he justifies, thinking that words can undo what perception has already built. But the more he speaks, the deeper he sinks. The truth is, people see the world not as it is, but as they are. And when someone is committed to misunderstanding you, no amount of explanation will change that. Silence is power. Consider a different approach. Instead of arguing, instead of pleading your case, imagine simply letting your actions unfold. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus once said, "If someone speaks ill of you, do not make excuses but say, 'He did not know the rest,' or else he would not have said it." A man secure in himself does not chase validation. He stands firm, knowing that the truth will reveal itself in time. Think of a fire. A single spark can turn into an inferno if given fuel. Arguments, explanations, and justifications are fuel. When someone attacks your character, criticizes your actions, or questions your integrity, their words are the spark. If you respond, you give them oxygen, and soon you are engulfed in a fire that should never have existed in the first place. But if you do nothing, if you let the spark burn itself out in the emptiness of your silence, it dies before it ever becomes a threat. The shift in power. Consider this scenario. You are in a meeting. A colleague publicly questions your competence. Eyes turn to you. The room holds its breath, waiting for your response. Your instinct is to explain, to correct them, to reclaim control. But what if you didn't? What if, instead, you simply pause? A moment of silence stretches. The weight of their words lingers in the air, and suddenly the pressure shifts, not onto you, but onto them. They expected a reaction, an argument, a fight. Instead, they are left with their own words hanging, exposed for all to see. A king does not need to shout to be heard. A lion does not need to roar to be feared. Their power is in restraint. But the more you talk, the more you dilute your presence. The more you explain, the more you beg for understanding. Silence unsettles people. It forces them to question their assumptions. And when you do speak, when your words are measured and rare, they carry weight. The Stoic lesson: let actions speak. The strongest men in history were not those who argued the loudest. They were those who stood still in the storm, unwavering, unshaken. They did not waste time explaining their worth. They showed it. So the next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, stop. Ask yourself, am I explaining for clarity, or am I explaining out of fear? If it is fear, let silence be your response. Because in the end, those who matter will not need an explanation, and those who demand one were never meant to understand you in the first place. 2. The power of silence. Silence is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is a weapon, a shield against manipulation, a tool for maintaining control. When attacked, the instinct is to react, to defend, to explain. But the moment you do, you hand over your power. Most people do not speak to understand. They speak to provoke, to confirm their own beliefs, to stir emotions. When they challenge you, they are not looking for clarity. They want a reaction. And the moment you engage, you lose. You give them control over your emotions. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You always have the option of having no opinion. It is not ignorance, it is strength." The ability to say nothing when provoked takes far more discipline than to lash out. And yet, in silence, true respect is earned. Imagine a man who walks into a room. He does not rush to defend himself when questioned. He does not explain his every action. He allows time and results to speak for him. And because he does not fight for validation, people give it to him freely. A fire needs oxygen to grow. An argument needs your reaction to survive. When someone criticizes you, questions your integrity, or spreads doubt about you, their words are the spark. If you respond, you feed the flame. But if you remain still, if you let their words fall into the emptiness of your silence, the fire dies before it ever begins. The strongest individuals are not those who argue the loudest. They are the ones who stand firm in the storm, unwavering, unshaken. They do not waste words proving their worth. They show it. So the next time someone provokes you, asks for an explanation, demands a defense, pause. Resist the urge to speak. Watch as the power shifts. Because in the end, silence does not mean absence. It means control. And in control, you are untouchable. 3. Actions speak louder than words. Words are easy. Promises can be made. Justifications can be given. But in the end, words are empty without action. You can spend hours explaining yourself, defending your choices, and proving your worth. But none of it will ever carry the weight of undeniable results. Think about this. When was the last time someone tried to convince you of their character? Did their words truly change your perception, Or was it their consistent actions that made the difference? The truth is, people trust what they see, not what they hear. If you must explain who you are already at a disadvantage. The futility of words without proof. Imagine a man accused of being untrustworthy. He pleads his case, swears his honesty, and argues passionately for his reputation. Yet, despite all his words, doubt lingers. Why? Because trust is not built through words, it is earned through consistent behavior over time. No explanation can override actions that prove otherwise. This is why the strongest people do not waste time justifying themselves. They understand that those who truly matter will recognize the truth through their actions, not through explanations. If someone questions your integrity, let your life demonstrate your principles. If someone doubts your abilities, let your results remove all uncertainty. A tree that stands through the storm. Picture a tree standing tall in the midst of a storm. The wind howls, the rain pounds, but the tree does not argue with the storm. It does not beg for understanding. It simply remains, strong, unmoved. And when the storm passes, the tree is still there. Your actions are that tree. They remain long after the noise of judgment fades. When people gossip about you, time will prove them wrong. When someone spreads falsehoods, your work will be the evidence that speaks louder than their words ever could. The Stoic approach. Let time reveal the truth. The great Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor constantly surrounded by political intrigue and betrayal, never wasted time arguing his innocence or proving his worth to those who doubted him. Instead, he remained steadfast in his duty. He let his leadership and his legacy speak for themselves. Epictetus, once a slave, did not try to justify his worth to those who saw him as nothing more than property. He focused on mastering himself, and today his wisdom is studied across centuries, while the names of his former masters are forgotten. They knew a truth that many struggle to accept. Arguments fade, opinions change, but actions endure. The real test of strength. The next time someone questions your abilities, ask yourself, would my energy be better spent proving myself through action? When you are wronged, is it better to argue or to rise above? When you are misunderstood, is your time best spent correcting perceptions or simply living in a way that makes doubt impossible? The answer is clear. Do not waste breath explaining. Do not waste time justifying. Focus on doing. Because in the end, those who truly matter will see the truth without explanation. And those who refuse to see, they were never meant to. Actions speak louder than words, but today I want to hear yours. Have you ever chosen silence over explanation? Have you ever let your actions speak for themselves instead of wasting energy on justifications? Share your experience in the comments. If you're new here, comment, "I am a newbie. Welcome to the journey." And if you've been walking this Stoic path for a while, type, "I am a Stoic," to let us know you're here. Your thoughts, your insights, and even your silent presence mean more than you know. Let's continue this journey together, without explanation, without justification, just action. 4. Accepting reality. The freedom in letting go. Life is not fair. It never was, and it never will be. Some people will rise effortlessly, while others will struggle and still fall short. Hard work does not guarantee success, and kindness does not ensure that you will be treated well. This is a truth many refuse to accept, but the sooner you do, the freer you become. We waste time wishing things were different. We argue with reality, hoping it will bend to our desires. But no amount of explanation, no amount of justification can change the way the world works. You can do everything right and still be misunderstood. You can be honest and still be doubted. You can be good and still be wronged. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The world is beyond your control. People's opinions are beyond your control. But what you can control, what you must control, is your response. Trying to make life fair is like trying to stop the ocean with your hands. The waves will keep coming whether you accept them or not. But if you learn to move with them, to adjust, and to focus on what is within your power, you stop feeling like a victim. Imagine walking through a dense forest. The path ahead is uneven, full of obstacles, fallen trees, tangled roots, steep inclines. You could stop and complain about how difficult the journey is. You could stand there, refusing to move, demanding that the path be made easier for you. Or you could accept it, adjust, and keep going, step by step. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It does not mean being passive or letting life crush you. It means understanding the rules of the game and playing it wisely. It means recognizing what you can change and what you cannot, and placing your energy where it will make the most difference. The moment you stop expecting fairness, the moment you stop demanding explanations from the world, you gain something far more valuable: clarity. You stop being a prisoner of circumstances and become the master of your mind. So, let go of the need to justify, to fight against what is already set in motion. Accept what is, and focus on what you can control. Because strength is not found in resisting reality, it is found in mastering your response to it. 5. You don't need approval. The power of self-validation. How much of your life has been shaped by the need for approval? How many choices have you made, not because they were right for you, but because they pleased others? From childhood, we are conditioned to seek validation, praise from parents, acceptance from peers, recognition from society. And so, we mold ourselves to fit expectations, to avoid rejection, to be seen as enough. But here's the truth: you don't need approval. Not from society, not from your peers, not even from those closest to you. The illusion of validation: we believe that if others approve of us, we will finally feel secure, that if we gain their acceptance, we will be at peace. But external validation is fleeting. It is conditional. Today they praise you, tomorrow they criticize you. If your self-worth depends on others, you will live in constant fear, always adjusting, always proving, never truly free. People's opinions are unreliable. They are shaped by their own biases, experiences, and insecurities. One moment they admire you, the next they doubt you. If you build your confidence on their approval, you will forever be at their mercy, rising when they praise you, falling when they judge you. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, because the pursuit of greatness often means being misunderstood. The mountain that stands alone." Imagine a mountain standing tall amidst the wind and rain. It does not shrink because someone questions its height. It does not move because the storm demands it. It simply remains, solid, unshaken. Be that mountain. When you stop seeking approval, you shift from proving your worth to living it. You stop waiting for permission and start defining success on your own terms. You stop justifying your choices to those who will never understand, and instead, you focus on becoming the person you were meant to be. The freedom of not explaining. People will question you. They will challenge your path. They will tell you that you should be different, that you should conform. And in those moments, you have a choice. Explain yourself or keep walking. Most people argue, defend, seek to be understood. But the strongest individuals, they say nothing. They let their lives speak for them. The next time you catch yourself waiting for approval, stop. Ask yourself, why does their validation matter? If you live with integrity, if you act in alignment with your values, that is all the proof you need. Because in the end, those who truly see you will not need an explanation, and those who demand one, they were never meant to. 6. Dealing with criticism, choosing which voices matter. Criticism is inevitable. No matter who you are, what you do, or how well you do it, there will always be someone who finds fault. Some will question your abilities. Others will judge your character. Some will do it out of genuine concern, but many will do it for one reason alone, because tearing others down makes them feel taller. So how do you deal with it? Do you defend yourself? Do you explain, argue, prove them wrong? Or do you take the Stoic approach, one of strength, silence, and discernment? Not all criticism deserves your attention. The Stoics taught that you cannot control what others say, only how you respond. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." In other words, criticism only affects you if you allow it to. Words have no power unless you give them meaning. But here's the key. Not all criticism is the same. There are two kinds, the kind that helps you grow and the kind that is meant to break you. Wise people learn to tell the difference. Constructive criticism comes from those who want to see you improve. It may be uncomfortable, but it holds truth. These are the voices worth listening to. Destructive criticism comes from insecurity, jealousy, or the need to control. It is meant to provoke, to diminish. These are the voices you must ignore. The strength of silence. When you argue with a fool, you become part of the spectacle. When you explain yourself to those who do not care about the truth, you give them power. Instead, let silence be your response. Let your results speak. A man who is secure in himself does not chase approval, and he does not defend himself against empty words. Imagine a boxer in a ring. His opponent taunts him, tries to provoke a reaction. If he swings wildly in anger, he loses control of the fight. But if he remains calm, if he waits, he dictates the pace. This is how you must handle criticism. Do not react out of emotion. Do not give people the satisfaction of seeing you shaken. Hold your ground. Let time be your defense. The strongest individuals in history were not those who spent their time explaining themselves. They were those who let time reveal the truth. If your work is solid, if your character is strong, no amount of criticism can shake you. And those who truly matter, they will see through the noise. So the next time someone criticizes you, pause. Ask yourself, is this a voice I should listen to, or is this just noise? If it is noise, let it pass. If it holds truth, learn from it. But never waste energy justifying yourself to those who seek only to judge. Because in the end, the only opinion that truly matters is the one you hold about yourself. Criticism is everywhere, but how you respond to it defines you. Have you ever ignored judgment and let your actions speak instead? Or did you once waste energy defending yourself, only to realize it wasn't worth it? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to this mindset, comment, "I am a newbie." Welcome to a space where resilience speaks louder than words. And if you've already learned to filter which voices matter, type, "I am a Stoic," and share your wisdom with others. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every critic deserves a response. Let's continue mastering the strength of silence together. 7. Lessons from Stoicism. Mastering the art of detachment. There is a freedom that few ever attain, a state of mind where opinions do not shake you, where judgment does not move you, where misunderstanding does not compel you to explain. This is the mindset of the Stoic, a person who no longer seeks to control how others see them, but instead focuses solely on what is within their power, their thoughts, their actions, their character. The world is full of noise. People talk, they assume, they judge, they misunderstand you, they project their fears, their insecurities, their expectations onto you. And if you are not careful, you will spend your entire life trying to correct them, trying to make them see you as you truly are. But this is a battle that cannot be won, because people do not see reality as it is, they see it as they are. The wisdom of letting go. The Stoics understood that detachment is strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In other words, you do not control how others perceive you. You do not control their opinions, their words, or their judgments. But what you do control is your response. Most people waste energy explaining, defending, justifying. They react to every comment, every assumption, every misunderstanding. But the Stoic, he does not react, he observes. He does not chase approval, he walks his path, undisturbed. He does not fight for control, he masters himself, and in doing so, he becomes untouchable. What truly matters? In the end, ask yourself, is my time better spent proving my worth or living it? Do I need their approval, or am I already enough? Is my energy wasted on controlling opinions or invested in becoming unshaken by them? A mind that is consumed by the opinions of others is a mind that is never truly free. But a mind that lets go, that understands what is within its power and what is not. That is a mind that cannot be controlled, cannot be shaken, cannot be broken. Strong people do not explain, they do not chase validation, they act, they live, and they let time prove what words never could. So the next time you feel the urge to justify yourself, stop. Remember the lesson of the Stoics. You owe no one an explanation. Your life is the only proof you need. In the end, the strongest people do not explain, they do not seek approval, and they do not waste energy on meaningless criticism. They act, they live, and they let time prove what words never could. If this message resonates with you, subscribe to Stoic in Time and join a community that values action over explanation, wisdom over noise, and strength over validation. Let's continue this journey together, silently, steadily, and unshaken. See you in the next video.